As a lactation educator counselor for the past almost 10 years, I do a lot of talking about breasts and breastfeeding. I often speak to women who have trouble breastfeeding. I speak to women who have trouble getting their baby latched on. I speak to women who love breastfeeding, and I speak to women who don't always love breastfeeding. You know what's amazing? Nearly all problems that new moms have with nursing can be solved over the phone with a little information and a lot of encouragement. Here are my 6 tips for new nursing moms. Before we get to them, I'd like to thank the amazing company out of Switzerland, Ardo, for sponsoring this video. They make an incredible portable pump called the Calypso To Go. Ooh, it sounds tropical. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, it is tropical. Pumping is a huge part of nursing for a lot of moms, especially moms with babies with special needs or working moms. This one is light, it's quiet, it's portable. You can operate it in your car with the optional car charger. There's no internal battery, it will never die on you. You can also use the manual pump, which is so comfortable. It has 3 different positions. Wow. The best thing about the Calypso To Go, though, is that it's an entirely closed system. If you've never used a pump, you have no idea what I'm talking about. If you have used a pump, that will make you very excited because it means that milk cannot get into the tubing, so you don't need to clean the tubing. It's amazing. Thank you, Ardo. Don't forget, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to get notifications, like this page if you like it, share it with your friends. Let's talk breasts and breastfeeding. Number 1, newborns nurse a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Now, I don't want to go freaking out any of you new moms or women who have never had kids, but it is not unusual for a newborn to want to nurse every 2 hours. It's actually a normal and totally necessary amount of nipple and breast stimulation in order to signal the brain to make more milk. It feels nuts for the first weeks. It feels like you're losing your mind, or you kind of feel like a milk factory. But it is not forever. For the first 3 months especially, let your baby nurse as frequently as they want to for nice long stretches. Number 2, look to poop and pee to decide how much milk your baby's getting. So many women think their baby is not getting enough milk or that they don't have enough milk. It's one of the most common fears that I hear about. Do not freak out. Your body is made to make milk, and chances are very, very good that you have the ability to produce the right amount of milk for your baby. The only way a baby can soil a diaper is from milk going in. That's how it works. Milk goes in, pee and poop comes out. If your baby is making 6 to 12 wet or poopy diapers in a day, you're probably doing great. Check with your pediatrician, but that's what you want to aim for. Number 3, sometimes breastfeeding hurts. In my training, I was taught that breastfeeding shouldn't hurt, and that's totally true. My experience with both of my sons was that sometimes breastfeeding does hurt. Everyone has different levels of sensitivity, everyone has a different pain tolerance. Pain generally goes away after the first few weeks. Pain when a baby's latching on, which then lessens throughout the feeding, is more typical. If you have pain throughout a feeding, speak to a lactation counselor, educator, or your pediatrician. Discomfort can be helped by putting ice on your breasts before a feeding. Yes, you heard that right. Or even using these little Soothy packets that you keep in the freezer and then you can use them in between feedings. They feel really good. This will not last forever. Your body will adjust to this new level of stimulation. The pain will go away. If it persists, get help right away. Number 4, get clear about pumping. It takes about 4 or 5 days for colostrum to turn into the milk that we think of when we think of breast milk. You do not need to supplement in that time. Your body is designed to produce colostrum and then milk after 4 or 5 days. But for women with babies in the NICU or babies with special needs, something like the Ardo hospital pump is going to be your best friend. You can use a pump to get the colostrum out and into the baby. If you're not planning on going back to work right away, you actually don't need to start pumping right away. Pumping can kind of toy with your body's natural supply and demand system, especially as you're establishing your milk supply. Pumping can also introduce anxiety about how much milk your baby's getting, when generally your baby is the best extractor of milk from your body. If you can hold off even 6 weeks before you decide to start pumping, that's great. And when you do, make sure that you're using the right size phalange for the pump, and also make sure to speak to a lactation educator or counselor to help guide you in your pumping. Number 5, you can't spoil a baby. A lot of people think that constantly breastfeeding a baby will spoil them, or that you can overfeed them. Almost all of the things that people say regarding don't spoil a baby are things that actually increase bonding hormones and encourage you to establish a healthy milk supply. Things like holding your baby near you, sleeping safely near your baby, and wearing them in a sling Encourage your brain to make more milk. We all know not to give in to a 6-year-old who is screaming for ice cream. That's an elaborate cognitive power struggle between parents and child. But a 6-year-old is not the same as a helpless mammal baby. A baby needs to get their needs met, and it's your job to meet those needs. Number 6, nothing is forever. The hormones of new motherhood are designed to make you vigilant and attentive and oriented towards the well-being of your baby. This is not your permanent hormonal profile. This is just for now. It is so important to remember that the way that you're feeling now, the frustration, the exhaustion, the resentment, possibly towards your partner, possibly towards God, who made you the one who had to go through this, that will not last forever. The first 6 weeks after having a baby are kind of a train wreck in my experience, but it gets much better after that. If you can make it through the first 3 months with your sanity, you're gonna be okay. You're already a great mom. It's going to be fine. Rest, get help when you need it, eat good food, drink a lot of water, breathe. You can do this. Thank you again to Ardo for sponsoring this video. And Ardo pumps are available in the US and they're free through most insurance carriers. And by the way, Ardo's pumps are all made in-house in Switzerland. You know, the home of those fantastic watches and delicious chocolate. And they're internationally compatible, I know you were wondering, so European voltage won't fry it. Thanks again for watching. Head over to groknation.com for more on breastfeeding and me, and we'll see you next time.